recording. I was in the 9th grade, and what happened was like, first, you know, I was a real shy kid, right? Like I didn't talk to nobody. In the 9th grade, I had a teacher named Mrs. Elmsworth, you know, Astral Drive Junior High. Shout out to Mrs. Elmsworth. She kept a close eye on me, and she like noticed that I was really into rap music. And like one day, she came up with the idea of like getting me to write a dress code rap, you know, for the school. It's like the 5 B's. It's like no showing butts, boobies, bellies. I don't know. I showed it to her the next day at school, and she was like, "Oh my God, you know, this is great. I'm very surprised actually." And she showed it to the staff, and everybody was like, "Yo, you know, this is cool. You know, this guy has a little bit of talent." So then they played it on school announcements like every Friday for like 2 straight months or something like that. So I was like, "Wow," you know, and that's when I realized like, okay, maybe I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this rap thing is for me. When I was a kid, like I was home alone a lot. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, you know, like my parents, they were like real poor and everything, and like they just didn't have money to hire a babysitter. So like what ended up happening is that like I would spend a lot of time like after school, you know, just like in our own apartment, just like by myself, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do, I had to entertain myself. And when I watched TV, we had like 3 channels, you know what I'm saying? Like Fresh Prince just like stood out to me the most. Cause like when I was a kid, like, you know, again, I was real quiet, and like Will was like the blueprint of how to be cool. I thought like Will was the coolest cat, the flyest guy ever. So he was mad witty, he was funny, you know what I'm saying? He was getting the girls, and the thing was though, like Will didn't get the girls all the time. Will got curved, but still he just kept going, you know what I'm saying? Like he did his thing, and that's what I admired the most. Cause like, you know, being a shy kid, like hearing no from a girl, it would be like the worst thing, you know what I'm saying? But like Will has such a thick skin, you know what I'm saying? He could turn down and say a pickup line, he'd be like, "Hey girl, let me get your phone number before I don't want it no more." And then she goes, "No," and then Will goes, "Pshh," and he just keeps going, you know what I'm saying? He keeps hollering at the next chick, and like I feel like that's something that I feel like, you know, that's like I need to have too. It's like just the way that he's, you know, so like, you know, thick-skinned and like strong-willed, you know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble, you know, songs like Rock the House, and you know, it's like different things like, you know, Parents Just Don't Understand, you know, it's like the old records, you know, Nightmare on My Street, and this is like Will Smith, you know, classic Will Smith records. Like afterward, you know, when I started getting a bit older, I started listening to like more Tupac. At first, I wasn't really into Tupac because like he talked about like a lot more like serious stuff, you know, sometimes like political stuff, sometimes stuff that happens like, you know, in the hood, like in the ghettos. Back in the day, like listening to rap music, I was like a total square, and I had like a stick on my butt, you know what I'm saying? Like anytime I hear like cuss words, I'm like, no, this is not a good record, you know what I'm saying? This is dirty, no. You know, but like as I got older, I realized like, you know, this is just what people say, you know, it's people cuss, you know what I'm saying? Like it's what it is. It was just like music that just hits you like deep in your soul, like, you know, the type of music that like will last the entire lifetime. You know how like music nowadays in 2019, it comes and goes. You know, I came from a very strict like Chinese household, you know what I'm saying? Like my parents, they had like a lot of expectations for me. They were like mad strict, and they were like, okay, you can only do this, you can't do this, and it was like very restricting, and I felt like mad oppressed, you know what I'm saying? And it was like to a point where it was like they were telling me like what to do, and I was compromising way too much, and I was doing like what they were telling me to do, and I was losing who I was in the process, you know what I'm saying? Like and I feel like that's a very toxic dynamic, because like when it turns out like that and you start losing yourself, you become like a shell of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And you're just no longer happy with life and like with who you are. But when I listened like to Tupac's music, I became like more grounded, and I realized that, you know, I had to live for me, I had to live for myself, I had to do what I want, you know what I'm saying? And even though he had all these things against him, he was able to make something of himself, and he was so influential just by the time that he was 25. You know what I'm saying? 25. Like, I'm 23 now. That's 2 years, you know what I'm saying? I turned 24 in July. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? To make the impact that he made when he was 25. And that just made me go, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that I gotta aspire to for sure. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like, these 2 people, Tupac, Will Smith, you know, definitely 2 people that really influenced me and really built the foundation of who I am today. How the radio journey started, this is weird. It was a game called Grand Theft Auto Vice City, okay? And in the game, they had these like satirical radio stations that kind of like just said outrageous things, okay? Like there was commercials in there for like stuffing old people, like, you know what I'm saying? You know how like you have stuffed animals? They were like, yo, if you want to get rid of your old people, we can stuff them. So it was just like, you know, just like bad jokes and just like, sometimes it was hilarious, other times it was like mad offensive, it was going too far, and like, it was edgy, you know what I'm saying? It was something different. And I was like, yo, this is funny, man. How I messed up, all right. So, I went to the Auburn Drive High School prom, okay, with my homegirl, my lovely homegirl, Chelsea Swimmer. Shout out to you, Chelsea. Hope you're doing well. I went on the dance floor, right? And you know, I was jamming to the music, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I saw a big circle congregate around this one dude, right? And this dude was in there dancing, doing his thing, whatever. And people were like, ah! The girls like, ah! And the guys were like, oh! And you know, people were fainting, they were clapping, whatever, right? And then I was like, oh man, what's the big commotion about? So then I walked up and I walked into the circle, right? And then I saw this dude with dreads and glasses just doing this thing. He was doing his thing, right? And then like after he was done, you know, we all cheered and we all clapped, and then, you know, I gave him some props. I was like, yo man, that was real dope. Now watch me. And then I started doing my thing, right? Like I was watching mad YouTube videos on how to do like Michael Jackson dance moves and stuff, right? So like I was busting out like this one, you know, I was like hee hee, you know, I did that, and then I did like, you know, my moonwalk thing, right? My signature moonwalk, and I did the spin movement jig, and I tried to do the lean thing, right? So like all the whole nine. And I did that, everybody cheered, it was wild, it was crazy. And then he gave me some props, and it was like a movie moment, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, you know, like it was like mutual respect right there. And then eventually, as time went on, we became best friends. We started like making records together, you know, we started playing shows together, we started like doing a radio show together, and just everything. And it's like a whole journey, and it's dope. And he did a couple episodes like by himself. And then he realized that like, okay, like maybe I need a co-host, right? So then like he asked me to, you know, hop on there. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. And it's funny how like the universe works, because like growing up, I've always loved the radio and I wanted to be on the radio. And then just me thinking about it, like I didn't know how I was gonna get to this point, how I was gonna get a radio show. And then it just got manifested in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, this dude I met who turned out to be my best friend happens to have a radio show opportunity, and he just asked me to be a radio host. So like, alright, cool, right? So then I hopped on the radio, and then me and Seth, you know, we've been just, you know, just building this radio show, you know, for like years now. We've been going 5 years strong, going to 6. And you know, we've had like countless guests on the radio, like from all over the place, you know, from all over the hip hop community. I'm gonna keep doing radio until the end of time. You know what I'm saying? With my bro Seth, I'm gonna keep, you know, talking about hip hop and just talking about, you know, like the community, keep showcasing artists, and of course, you know, self-promote and plug my own music on there at the same time. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, that's what it's for. It's for me to plug as my music as much as I want. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I've always had rice, you know, growing up, like, you know, being a Chinese person, I've always had rice, just like almost every day of my life, you know, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, got some rice, you know what I'm saying? So then I was like, okay, I wonder what would happen if I stopped eating rice for 30 days straight. And then I started this hashtag no rice not nice challenge. And that's where I just like completely stopped eating rice for 30 days. And what I noticed was that like the first couple days it was cool, but then like I started thinking about rice, you know, as time went on, and it wouldn't be like real bad. It's not like a physical, I don't have like physical withdrawal symptoms, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, oh man, I must have rice now, but it's more like, you know, rice popping in my head. Hey, it'd be nice if you had some rice to go with that right now, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, it'd be nice, you know, if you had some sushi, you know what I'm saying? Sushi would be nice, but you can't have it because some freaking rice on there. So it was like just different things like that, and I just noticed where like, you know, like what the role rice played in my life, you know what I'm saying? And just like these various different instances. And I began to realize that I was like taking advantage of how privileged I was when it came to rice. I had rice again, let me tell you, it was the best tasteless food I've ever had in my life. It doesn't taste like nothing, but man, I ate 2 big old bowls of rice, like as soon as the 30 days were over. It's the food, it's not the food that you're gonna say, oh man, okay, this is my favorite food right here. But it's the food that will always keep you fed. You know what I'm saying? So, love me some rice.
This hurts.
That stung a little.
This is like one of the first songs I was like high and listened to, you know?
Like Jam Club, I feel like we've grown to become like a family. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just a bunch of musical artists, and we're all like eccentric weirdos in our own way, shape, or form, and we all just come together in a community where it's like we just all be ourselves and we just have a good time and make music and and just like showcase our eccentric tendencies to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like we all mad weird, all of us. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like we have fun with who we are. And I feel like Jam Club has really helped me like cultivate my own artistic abilities too. Just like bouncing ideas off all the Jam Club members and just get everybody like in on the discussion and just like getting on records too. I find when I like make records on my own, like I take it much too seriously. Like I just want to like, okay, I want it to be like dope and just fire record. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I just get too tense and I forget to have fun with the music. Like at Jam Club, sometimes I say like silly shit on the record. Like I freestyle and I say like applesauce, applesauce, and like it's stupid as whack, but like I'm having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like Jam Club, love Jam Club. I'm saying, gotta come to Jam Club. If you like music, if you make music, you know what I'm saying, hit up Creativity Crew, hit up my homegirl Maya, get yourself in the Jam Club and have a good time.
And let me show you how I live.
That's me!
Some fried rice, some fried chicken too, some rock on ice, way too nice.
YouTube Yangsta right now!
Me plus you, the perfect equation. Ching chong, me long, ting tong. Come on, get some wonton soup. Bring the girls, the whole group. Hello, big bone tea, and get up. Hey, wonton soup. Hey, wonton soup.
Squeeze some butt.
Hey, wonton soup. No fish heads in my wonton soup. Just shrimp. Just shrimp. Maybe some
Enze Yangsta's Angels, yo. I just want to say, first of all, thank you and bless up to my OG angel, Maya. Thank you. Because without Maya, there wouldn't be no angels, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be no squad. But the angels, though, I appreciate all y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, my angels really, like, hype me up, you know what I mean? Because, like, it's very nice to have, like a group of, like, supportive people to just, like, just, like, hype you up with whatever you do. They're like, my yes ladies. You know, they have the term, like, yes man. I feel like my angels are, like, my yes ladies. Like, when I put out records, they got me. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna hit me with shares, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna hype me up. They're gonna like recite my lyrics and like the record Very Asian. It was like completely by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like I just went in the studio one day and I was like, you know what? Let me just freestyle to this really Asian sounding beat that Maya put on. And I was like, okay, this is low key racist a little bit what I'm doing, but like like this, I'm just having fun with it, right? So. Wonton soup and it just caught on fire.
Everybody listen, when you come to your crib, and let me show you how I live. I got some fried rice and fried chicken too, so rock on ice, way too nice. Ching chong long, ting tong. Let me get busy on this song. Hey, wonton soup.
My angels hype me up, and like I don't want to like make it seem like Yangsta's Angels. It's like Enze and his group of hoes. So Enze's got mad women, mad bitches all over. Like it's not like that. Like all the angels, they got their own lives. Angels got boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? Like angels doing their thing. It's just like a group of wonderful, wonderful girls that just come together. Just to hype me up because they believe in my vision and they believe in like what I do. You know what I'm saying? So yo, nothing but love for Yangsta's Angels. I'm coming out with my debut album. You know what I'm saying? Square One. It's like the record that's gonna introduce me to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like the record that's gonna put me on the map. Like that's why it's called Square One. I made every single beat on the record, like every single instrument I put together like, from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be using like little sound snippets and samples and stuff, but like for the most part, like I make it all. You know what I'm saying? Like self-produced. I wrote all the lyrics, no ghostwriter. It's not like that. It's like 100% record like by me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put it on like Apple iTunes. I'm gonna put it on Spotify. I'm gonna put it on Amazon Music. What I want for this record is I want this is like young people out there, but like like Asian kids, especially like Chinese kids, boys and girls that are like really held down by like their circumstances and like really strict parents and like just like their environment just tries to just suck out their like their individuality out of them. I want this album to be kind of like a beacon of light to let them know that you can be yourself and you can do you, and you can just like put your own presence into the world without fear, you know what I'm saying, and it's gonna turn out well. Like I want people to be able to like look at the record and be like, okay, this guy did it, maybe I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I want. Like I want to like help people break out of the chains, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I want people to be able to like embrace themselves and who they are, and yeah, and that's what Square One is gonna be all about.
Your graceful style that stayed with me, your beautiful smile that stayed with me, the way you talk that stayed with me, love can't be bought that stayed with me, the way you cook dinner that stayed with me, the way you call me winner that stayed with me, your intricate care that stayed with me, those times we shared will always stay with me.
So how did it feel winning the monthly challenge of February?
Oh man, I knew I was gonna win, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the greatest rapper of all time. It was like naturally it was gonna be me. No, I'm just playing. Like it felt real good, you know what I'm saying? Like it was really flattering to see like people like voting for me, you know what I mean? And like to me, like I wrote a song like just like for myself kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like I didn't write it to win, you know what I mean? I just wrote it because like I wanted to convey that whole story, through music. And I'm so glad that so many people felt it, so many people liked it, and yeah, and like shout outs to the other people that entered and put submissions in. Everybody's mad talented, but I'm the best. No, it's fun. But yeah, I feel really blessed. I feel really flattered that I won. I released one diss track towards Infinity 8, and here's the funny story. Okay, like I don't have any like malice towards the guy, and I don't like hate the guy in any way, shape, or form in real life, even though it kind of sounded like that on the record. Hip hop is a sport, you know what I'm saying, and sometimes in a sport, competitors they spar, you know what I'm saying. So he threw a diss record out and he mentioned a bunch of names and he had some bars for me, you know what I'm saying. And when I heard my bars, the bars for me, I was like, yo, I gotta respond, I gotta get him, you know what I'm saying, because like that's the thing about hip hop, right? Because like, if somebody calls you out, it's like a direct challenge, it's like a direct confrontation, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I need to address this, like, not for the sake of like, like my brand or like whatever, because a lot of people were telling me like, he's not worth your time, don't even do it, you know what I mean? He's just like a dude that's like trying to come up and he's just trying to ride off your clout and your wave. But to me, like, it's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody challenged me, they invited me, you know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, what you got? So then I was like, I'm gonna show you what I got, you know what I mean? I have to respond, and that's what I did. And what I find, like, diss tracks though, the beauty of diss tracks, it really makes artists like, just put the pedal to the metal and just like go their hardest, and just like try their best, and just like they really elevate their skill level, you know what I'm saying, when they try to make a diss track, because like I find, diss tracks, it brings the best out of artists. And when Infinity 8 dissed me on my diss track response, like I went on the internet and I found the exact beat that he was using for his diss, and then I completely destroyed him on his own beat. You know what I'm saying? Because like things like that, like diss tracks, a lot of it is like a mind game. It's like a psychological, you know what I'm saying? Because if you can make your opponent lose confidence in what they have to say, if they don't say their insults with confidence, then they lose, automatic. You know what I'm saying? Automatically, they lose. I'm gonna do what you just did, but I'm gonna do it better. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. His diss track was called Not Safe, and I called mine Still Safe. You know what I'm saying? Because like he was trying to say, oh, all you rappers out here, you guys ain't safe, I'm gonna come for all y'all. And I'm just like, you can't get me, I'm still safe, I'm the man, untouchable. And then he responded with another diss track, but like I didn't want to respond because like I feel like he didn't come with it, you know what I'm saying? Like I put more effort into my diss response than his response, you know what I'm saying? So like if I would have responded again, I feel like I would just be like trying too hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you're not gonna take it serious, I'm not gonna take it serious, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna contribute no more energy to the situation if you're not gonna contribute energy to the situation, you know what I'm saying? But that's all in the past now. It's all like water under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Infinity ain't letting me cool. Like if I see him in the street, I'm gonna say what's up. I'm like, yo, you know, I'm gonna give him some props. We're gonna talk music, you know, whatever, and it's all good. And there's no friction between us. You know, we're not gonna fight. Ain't nobody gonna get stabbed, nothing like that. You know, it's a cool situation. You know, but in the future, like if anybody else disses me or like tries to bring confrontation my way, I'm gonna have some bars for them. Doesn't matter who it is. What makes me different from other rappers? Like so many rappers come from just like very terrible circumstances, and you know they're placed in positions in life where they feel less than. You know what I'm saying? So what they end up having to do is they have to regain their confidence and regain their self-worth. You know, through like flexing. When they become successful, they gotta flex. You know what I'm saying? They gotta do all these things, and it's turned into like a toxic dynamic in a way, because like nowadays a lot of rappers, they rent cars, they rent jewelry, and they rent mansions, you know what I'm saying, for their video, and then afterward they have to like give all that back, and they're trying to portray an image but like it's not real. None of that is real, like it's all fake. So like it becomes like a facade, and I feel like that clashes and contradicts with the essence of rap and hip hop, which is, you know, telling your own story, your life story, and you be real and be completely honest with it, you know, real, deep, like raw, you know, stories, and you know what I'm saying? And that's where I find I differ from the rappers, you know, that you see usually in the mainstream, because like, you know, when I rap, I try to keep it, you know, like very like close to the heart, you know, very like down to earth, you know, like stuff about life. And when I do flex though, I flex with like jewelry and assets that I own, that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like this gold watch right here, you know, this gold chain and this gold ring, all of that. After this video, this interview shoot is over, all of that stays. You know what I'm saying? This is all my stuff. Like, you know, like my car outside, even though I'm driving just like a Toyota Corolla and ain't no Mercedes Benz or nothing like that, but you know, it's my ride and it's a fly whip, you know, the black Toyota Corolla. It's cool. So like, what's different is that I bring the real element to it. It's like when, you know, they talk about the money and the fast cars and the flashy stuff, you know, they're just trying to portray a lifestyle, flex the lifestyle. But for me, it's like the results of years of grinding and years of just like putting in work and years of me just like clawing and just like gradually, you know, coming up on the come up, and all of this stuff came as a result of that. So like the focus becomes not on all the materialistic things, but on the hustle and the attitudes required to acquire these materialistic things. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where I'm different. When I was a kid, I was deprived of like toys and just like things that made me happy, like because we were so poor, you know, back then. Like my parents and I, we first immigrated, you know, from China to Canada, and you know, we didn't have like much money. Between like three of us, we had like $800, you know what I'm saying, to like survive off of. And like I remember when we first moved into our apartment building, it was mad ghetto of us, cause like we didn't have a table and we had a nightstand for a table. You know what I'm saying? So it was like one of those octagon nightstands, and we just put it in our living room, and we didn't have no chairs. So we went to this spot called like Lake City Woodworkers. It's this like little like woodcrafting spot, you know, a woodcrafting firm company. This is like down the road, and they have like scrap wood that they throw away, right? So we would take like the pieces of scrap wood, we would like saw it down, we would get some nails, and we just like make our own little tiny stools, little chairs, and we like, you know, use that in our nightstand, and that's our like, you know, the family table, you know what I'm saying, like in the dining room, and like, you know, we'll be eating like Mr. Noodles and stuff, and we had like, we didn't have no curtains, so we had like newspapers as curtains, and we just like taped newspapers together, and we just had a curtain thing going on. And yeah, so when I was a kid, like I just didn't have many toys, and I guess all the bling bling and all the stuff now is to, you know, compensate and like to make up for all the childhood fun that I lost. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is like my toys.
Pokemon? Are you a Pokemon player?
Yes, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Let's talk Pokemon. Let's go. What do you want to know?
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Charizard. And the reason why is because like Charizard is like a representation of me. Because like when I first started off with the Charmander was trash. Because like the first Pokemon gym was a rock gym, and like fire, rock, doesn't mix, you know what I'm saying? I got my butt whipped a lot. In the second gym, water, you know what I'm saying? And I had a fire Pokemon, and I was getting my butt whipped, okay? So in the beginning, I had a real rough time with Charmander, but I believed in Charmander, and we trained a lot. We fought a lot of Pidgeys and Rattatas and a lot of, you know, like Weedles and Caterpies and Metapons and all that stuff, and we just grinded, you know what I'm saying? And we just like leveled up, and eventually my little tiny itty bitty weakling Charmander turned into a Charizard. And Charizard just dominated, and I wrecked every single gym leader easily, you know what I'm saying, with my dragon, my fire dragon Pokemon, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a metaphor for life, you know what I mean? First, it's gonna be rough, it's gonna be hard, you know, you're gonna get your ass whipped a lot, you're gonna lose a lot, take many, many L's, you're gonna hold this L for a long time. But eventually, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get up there, you're gonna soar like a fire dragon, straight up. Oh, Pokemon, yeah. See, this is how you know I am absolutely obsessed. Yeah. Shout outs to my homegirl Michelle for hooking me up with this lovely Charizard keychain. It's big as hell and it makes my pockets bulge, but it is lit. Absolutely litty. Hold on, a little truth. I just want to say, never give up on your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everyone is placed on this earth with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something that they can do, something that they can cultivate, and something that's gonna bring them to legendary heights. You know what I'm saying? But you really have to work on your purpose. And it doesn't matter what other people say, it doesn't matter what society says, it doesn't matter how impractical that dream may be. You know, you have to walk that road and you have to figure out what it's all about. Because if you don't, I feel like that's when you truly die. You know what I'm saying? Like, death doesn't come when your life is over. Death comes when you waste your living hours not doing the stuff that you're supposed to do, where you're put on this earth to do. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I feel like it's to make music, it's to entertain, it's to you know, like spread positivity and spread my story to the people. You know what I'm saying? And just like impact, create impact. And I feel like, you know, that's what life is all about. So ladies and gentlemen, get out there, figure out what your life's purpose is, and pursue that relentlessly. Never give up. You know what I'm saying? Keep going for your dreams. No matter what happens, you gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Can't stop, won't stop. Like Puff Daddy says.
Alright. I'm about to show you guys the most revolutionary automobile technology. Let's wait till this car passes by. Hold on. Oh! What? Oh my God! Oh! Kurume! Isn't that some ballin' shit? That's some ballin' ass shit right there. And like, there's a magnet, right? It's a sensor, right? So when you like close it, it'll like automatically turn off. Because like, once the sensor lines up with the magnet, it just turns it off. Is that some cool shit? It's so cool. But like the light is not, it's like pretty dim, so like it has to be nighttime for you to be able to see it. But yeah.
That's pretty neat. Good for you.
My mom usually, like, she doesn't like rap music. She hates that I do rap music because she thinks, you know, it's all like gangster stuff and like drugs and people with guns and girls shaking their booty everywhere and this is bad, you know what I'm saying? But like, she loves that record, you know what I mean? Like, she would like talk shit to me about making that record like to my face, but then like when I go away, she's like all up in her room playing that record on repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like she's one of those people. Like, and that's really heartwarming to me how like my mama loves like her own record, you know. And that's one of those songs that like I spent a lot of time on, like maybe 2-3 months on just one song, just like making sure every single little detail is exactly perfect. Because you know this is my mom, you know what I mean. So I had to ensure that like, you know, there's no hiccups, nothing. And it took a long time, not because like, you know, I had trouble like writing the, it's my best record to date, I have to say. You know, even better than IB Life and all of that. Even though IB Life was like my one-hit wonder record, you know what I'm saying? It's like the MC Hammer, you can't touch this record. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's like the most popular one, you know, that stayed with me. I feel like, you know, deep down, that's the record if you're talking about Yangsta. You know what I'm saying?